This segment will show you how to fasten the hitch mount arms and the angle bracket. First, attach the hitch mount arms, part 9, to the tine shield. Attach the hitch mount arms with the outsides of the angle brackets and the hitch arm mount brackets. Fasten the arms to the angle brackets using two 5/16 inch by 1 inch hex bolts, part D, and 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part I. Fasten the arms to the hitch arm mount brackets using two 5/16 inch by 1 inch carriage bolts, part E, and 5/16 inch nylock nuts. On the angle brackets, tighten the nuts and then loosen them slightly. However, on the hitch arm mount brackets, do not fully tighten the nuts just yet. Next, attach the front ends of the hitch mount arms. Fasten them using two 5/16 inch by 1 1/4 inch hex bolts, part C, and 5/16 inch nylock nuts. Do not fully tighten these bolts yet. Next, attach the hitch brackets, part 7. First, thread two 5/16 inch by 2 inch hex bolts, part B, through the end of one of the hitch brackets. Then slide the hitch bracket bolts in between the two bolts holding the front of the hitch mount arms together. Now add the other hitch bracket on top of the bolts. Secure the bolts with two 5/16 inch nylock nuts, but do not fully tighten these bolts either. Next, insert a 3/8 inch hitch pin, part F, through the hitch brackets and secure it with a 1/8 inch hair cotter pin, part G. And finally, you will now go back and tighten some of the nuts and bolts that you left loose in segments 3 and 4. First, tighten the nuts and bolts in the hitch brackets. Then tighten the nuts and bolts in the front ends of the hitch mount arms. Now tighten the nuts and bolts attaching the two hitch arm mount brackets and two angle brackets to the bottom of the rear of the tine shield. Then tighten the nuts and bolts attaching the two angle brackets to the bottom of the front of the tine shield. Now tighten the nuts and bolts attaching the front two angle brackets to the hitch mount arms at the front of the tine shield. After you tighten these, loosen them slightly. Finally, tighten the nuts and bolts attaching the two hitch mount arm brackets to the hitch mount arms at the rear of the tine shield. Next, attach the axle bracket, part 4. Place the axle bracket on the outside of the angle brackets at the rear of the tine shield. The ends of the bracket must point toward the front of the tine shield. Fasten the bracket using two 5/16 inch by 1 inch hex bolts, part D, and 5/16 inch nylock nuts. Fully tighten the nuts and bolts and then loosen them slightly.